She used our kids as a cover to cheat on me with a married man. But when I uncovered the truth, I didn't just serve divorce papers, I nuked her lover's entire life. Job, house, marriage, gone. If you've ever caught someone lying and wanted to make them regret everything, hit that like button and subscribe. Because today's story isn't just about betrayal, it's about cold, calculated, all-American revenge. It started in the early 2000s, before smartphones, before location tracking, before digital footprints, but people still lied. And my wife? She was no exception. We had 2 little kids, 4 and 6, and like most young kids, they were honest, painfully honest. They started talking about visiting grandma and grandpa's house a lot, like 2 or 3 times a week. Now, my in-laws lived 90 minutes away. That kind of drive, that frequently, it didn't make sense. I asked her casually, "Hey, you guys been going to your parents again?" She shrugged it off. Just a couple times, no big deal. But she hesitated. Her voice caught. She was never a good liar. So I did what any suspicious but sane man would do. I tracked the mileage on her car. And sure enough, 400 extra miles a week. My gut twisted. I knew something was wrong. One morning I sat down at our old desktop computer, and there it was, a sticky note with her AOL password sitting right next to the keyboard. I stared at it. I shouldn't look, but I did. I logged in, and within minutes I found emails between her and her college best friend. And in those emails, she confessed everything. She was sleeping with her ex-boyfriend from high school, bragging about it, laughing about his wife, calling her fat after having kids. It wasn't just cheating, it was vile. I printed everything and saved it in a folder labeled Truth. I needed more, details, dates, proof. So I called a friend who used to be a cop. He introduced me to a guy named Ron, former detective, now private investigator. Ron was sharp, cold, efficient. I gave him the emails and everything I knew. A week later, he came back with a full report. My wife was taking the kids to her parents. Booze, then meeting up with the guy at a dingy motel. Lunch, sex, home. Rinse and repeat. Photos, dates, times, all of it. That was my breaking point. I hired a lawyer. See, my parents cheated on each other, and it wrecked our childhood. I wasn't about to let history repeat itself, but I also wasn't done. Ron had found the guy she was cheating with, let's call him Bob, married, 3 kids, worked as a VP of sales for his father-in-law's company, lived in a house owned by his wife's parents. Perfect. I asked Ron for a couple more copies of the report. On the day my wife got served divorce papers at work, Ron paid a visit to Bob's wife. He sat down, handed her the folder, and quietly said, "I think you deserve to know the truth." She cried. Then she smiled, and she said something I'll never forget. "Don't worry, I know exactly what I need to do." Bob's wife cleaned out their joint bank account, took the kids, left the house, and her father, the same man who owned the business Bob worked for, fired him on the spot. Oh, and the house, also owned by her parents. Bob was evicted. Then it got ugly. He tried to argue with her at the house. Her brother stepped in and broke Bob's nose. Restraining orders, police reports, court dates, even jail time. Bob lost everything. Last I heard, Bob left the state. I can't find him online. No Facebook, no LinkedIn, nothing. His ex-wife? She landed on her feet, took a job at her dad's company, eventually took over when he retired. As for me, my ex and I only talked about the kids. Now that they're grown, we don't talk at all. I don't hate her, but she's a ghost to me now. Revenge doesn't always have to be loud. Sometimes it's precise, surgical. You don't scream, you wait, you move, and then you strike. Because karma's patient. But sometimes she needs a little help, and I was happy to help. If you felt that sweet justice hit just right, smash that like button. Tell me in the comments, What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? And don't forget to subscribe, because this is just the beginning.